Hello everyone, hope all is well and welcome back. So in today's video, I'm going to be doing my part 2 of my summer declutter series. Today we're going to be tackling my face products. So that's all my foundations, concealers, my blushes, bronzers, and highlighters, all those fun products. So the products I will be getting rid of will either be donated if they're untouched and clean. If they're lightly used, I'll put them in my friends and family box, and if they're just too old, expired, and don't work properly anymore, I will put them in the recycle bin, sadly. So before we get into it, I would love for you to subscribe if you aren't already. It would mean so much to me, and let's get to it. So here's an overview of my desk. If you haven't seen my last declutter, I showed this in my last one as well. But this is my desk. It's 2 IKEA Malm dressers, and the top is a custom piece. I just wanted to show you my new plant. This is a huge monstera. I'll show you my whole thing right here because it's so cute and I've been so in love with it. It's like my little plant wall. Let me know if you'd like to see an updated plant tour because I have gotten at least 20 more plants since my last one. I have an issue. Also, I just wanted to quickly show, these are all new products I've gotten in the last week and a half. Let me know if you want to see a new products video or something out of this pile. I know I just recently did a new products video, so let me know if that's too repetitive. But anyways, I just wanted to quickly do an overview of the 2 drawers I'm going to be tackling today. This is my top drawer. So this is kind of messy, it kind of overwhelms me, but it all works good. All the little containers are from IKEA. So in here I have like my erase your face cloths, cute barrettes, wipes, and back here I have my mirrors, my fake tan I like to use for my freckles sometimes, just stuff I need to grab all the time. Here are my brow products. These are my sponges and cotton pads and stuff. And in this little container here is really random stuff. So eyelash curler, lash glue, lash tweezers, lash scissors, anything, eye primers, little metal palettes. And then here are their actual makeup, the primers, foundations, concealers, and back here I have setting sprays. And in this other drawer, we have all my blushes, bronzers, and highlighters. So down this strip right here is bronzers. Here are all my blushes, this little L shape here, and here are my highlighters. That's also a big blush thing. Over here we have highlighting palettes, contour kits, setting powders, and back there I just have 2 random products. So this is the first container I'm going to be tackling. I think I'm going to start right here with my setting sprays. So I don't think I'm going to be getting rid of any in here, but I have the MAC Fix Plus in the lavender scent. That one's my favorite. Then I have the Anastasia Dewy set, which is amazing. It's super, super dewy. This is the Catrice Dewy Glow Fixing Spray. I've used this once, and the one time I used it, I was really impressed with it, so I'm going to keep it. This is the Anastasia Hydrating Oil. I'm going to keep this because I like to make my matte liquid lipsticks into more of a lip oil with this product. It's a really great one to do that with. This is the Lila B Face Mist. I'm still testing this out. I really like it so far. I'm going to keep it too. And this is the Urban Decay All-Nighter. Definitely going to be keeping that. And this is a little silicone sponge, but it's so cute. And I never use it, but I keep it around because it's so cute and it's fun to squish. Next, I think I'm going to do my concealers. First is the Makeup Forever Ultra HD concealer. I really love this concealer. It says that it is a self-setting one, but I do find that I need to set it a little bit because it does get a little creasy quickly on me, but it's such a hydrating and beautiful formula. It just looks flawless all the time. One for when I'm tanned and one for when I'm winter shades, so I'm going to keep those. These are the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop concealers, both really not my shade. This one's a little too pink for me, and this one's just a little too deep for me, so I'm going to be getting rid of these. This is the Nude Sticks concealer pencil. I really like this. I just ordered this not too long ago. I tried it out for the first time in my Nude Sticks video, and I was really impressed with it. And I have been using it on my lighter makeup days. Even if I'm not wearing foundation, this is one that I've been gravitating to. I really like this one. Super creamy. Next is the Tarte Shape Tape. I'm going to be keeping this around, obviously. It is a little bit more of a drying formula, so I like to just use this if my under eyes are pretty dark, but I'll usually mix this in with a little bit more of a hydrating concealer. I just add this in for the extra coverage. This is the Glossier Stretch Concealer, and I have the shade G9. This is a really good one for lighter makeup days. I really love this. It just gives the appearance of the most hydrated under eyes, and it has a really long staying power. I really enjoy this concealer. Next I have NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer, an obvious keep. This is still one of my all-time favorite concealers. It's the first high-end one I've ever purchased, and I still purchase it to this day, so I think this might be my upwards of 7th bottle. This is the Catrice Liquid Camouflage. I tried this once and I really disliked it. It was way too drying and the scent is way too heavy for me, so I'm going to be getting rid of this one. This is the ColourPop No Filter Concealer. This shade was a little bit light for me, but I actually have been using this as an eyeshadow primer and it works amazingly for that, so I think I'm going to keep it around for an eye primer. And then finally, my Very Empty Milk Makeup Flex Concealer. I am going to be keeping this because I'm almost empty. It's almost empty, but this is one of my all-time favorite concealers. Really close to the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. I might like this one a little bit more just because it is a little bit more hydrating or something and a little bit more long-lasting, and I enjoy the shade of it a little bit more. Like Custard is a really good yellow-based one, but this light one is highlighting enough but also yellow enough for me, so this is like my all-time favorite. Next I'm going to tackle my primers here. So first I have this Lancome Prep and Hydrate one. I'm going to keep this around because I haven't used it too much, but the times I have used it, it was really nice and hydrating, but not too hydrating. It's just a really nice texture. It's more like a moisturizer. So I'm going to keep this. I'm going to obviously be keeping the Glossier Priming Moisturizer. This is one of my all-time favorite primers. This and the Milk Hydro Grip are my two favorites. I love using this when my skin feels like it needs an extra boost of hydration, and makeup goes on top of it so beautifully and it lasts throughout the day. Even with my oily skin type, it's still amazing. This is the Amazing Cosmetics Illuminate Primer Highlighter. I really dislike this. I did put foundation on top of it, which looked okay, but during the day it still kind of broke up, and I just don't like the idea of putting a highlighter all over the face. I don't know, I don't really like the kind of glow it gives, so I'm going to be getting rid of this. This is the Laura Mercier Radiance Primer. This is my second bottle of it. It's one of my favorites for a glowier highlight. It's like a glotion. I'm going to be keeping this. This product I am so don't know what to do with because this is so expensive. I don't remember how much it is, but it's upwards in the hundreds, like maybe 160. This is so ridiculously expensive. Don't buy this. I wore this a few times and I really didn't like how my skin felt. Like I felt like I was aware of my skin all the time. I'm gonna keep it just for a little bit longer. Maybe I've just been using too much of this product underneath makeup, but we'll see. And the bottle is just so cute. The bees and stuff, it's just so cute. This is the Catrice Prime and Fine, what is this? Anti-Shine Base. I actually really like this one for more of a mattifying primer, because I find that it works really amazing when my skin has been a little bit oilier. It really just mattifies, but it feels just like a moisturizer, not like one of those silicone primers. I really like this one. I'm going to keep it. This is the Lancome Blur and Go primer. This is a mattifying one, and I used it a few times and I really disliked it, so I'm going to be getting rid of it. This is the Milk Luminous Blur Stick. I think I'm going to be getting rid of it. I don't use it as much as my Hydro Grip, and I don't love it as much as my Hydro Grip, and I find that the luminance in it is actually a little bit glittery, so I'm actually going to be getting rid of this one. And I'm obviously going to be keeping my Milk Hydro Grip. I don't think I need to talk about it that much. I think I've said my opinions on this in every video since it came out. I use it almost in every video. I love it so much. Finally, we're going to tackle all my foundations. Nudies Tinted Blur. I've been loving this lately. I do think it's better for oilier skin types. So if you have a drier skin type, I know it tends to sit on top of the skin rather than looking like skin. So I would stay away from this one if you do have a drier skin type. I'm going to be keeping this. I have two of the Ordinary foundations. These are quite old and I haven't used them in a really long time. I have the serum and the coverage one. I don't like the coverage one as much as the serum one, so I'm going to get rid of the coverage one and keep the serum one. This is the ColourPop No Filter foundation. Yeah, that's what it's called. I'm going to keep it. I really loved how it turned out in my full face using ColourPop. This is the Dermablend Soothe Liquid Camo. I used this around 3-4ish times and I really loved the way this looked. This one is a medium coverage one and it was really good, and it also has an SPF 25, so that's an extra bonus, which is really awesome. I'm gonna keep this one around. This is the Too Faced Peach Perfect. I don't like this one anymore. I used to really enjoy it, but I have found a lot more foundations that are more suited to my kind of style, because this one is a matte foundation, so I'm going to get rid of this one. This is the Lancome Teint Idole Ultra Wear. I'm going to get rid of this one. They did send this to me and it's way too light for me and a little bit too pink for me, so I'm going to be getting rid of this one. When I did my summer skin using affordable makeup, I did pick up two of these Infallible Pro Glow shades. I picked up 205 and 204. 204 is perfect and 205 is just a little bit too dark for me, so I'm going to put this in my donate bin since I haven't used it. But I'm going to keep this because it's still one of my go-to favorites for the drugstore. This is so old. I got this like a year before I even got into doing makeup professionally. So this is probably 4 years old. This is the Graphitobian, what are these? High Def Glamour Creams. This is such a beautiful foundation. It's what I used to have in my kit. It is a very full coverage. It is such a great thing. I do think I want to pick up a new one because I bet this is kind of getting old. I don't know. I feel like I need to get rid of it. Next, I have the L'Essentiel foundation from Guerlain. And they did send this to me in PR, and in the PR kit they sent a bunch of sample shades of the full range. So I kept all the shades that I possibly could be, because it's my #1 favorite foundation I've ever tried. It's my mom's #1 favorite foundation she's ever tried, my stepsisters. I gave a bunch of these samples away to friends and family, and they say that it's the best foundation they've ever tried, and I can't agree more. It's just so skin-like, buildable. It has SPF, 20 in it. It's just like the most unbeatable foundation. I adore it, so I'm going to keep all of these. This is the Catrice HD Liquid Coverage Foundation. I'm going to get rid of this because I tried it a few more times after my video trying this and I just didn't really love it. Whoops. So I am going to be getting rid of this one. I just don't use it as much as my other ones, and I know someone else would really enjoy it. Next, going into more of my skin tint products, I have first this one. It's the Next to Nothing by MAC. It's very comparable to the Glossier Skin Tint. It's like almost identical. I am going to keep both. This one's almost empty. With these products, I love mixing them into a little bit more high coverage foundations or a little bit more matte foundations just to add extra glow and make them a little bit more sheer. They're just great transformative products, and I'm going to keep both of them. And then I have two shades of my Milk Sunshine Skin Tints. I have the shade Medium as well as Light. I'm going to keep these. These are some of my favorites. The Makeup Forever Ultra HD, such a classic. It's very reliable. If ever my skin is feeling a little bit I'll go to this one. And I love how you can like make it matte or really make it dewy. It's just a really good foundation. I'm going to keep it as well. And lastly, the Milk Blur Liquid. I'm also going to be keeping this one. I just really love milk based products. They're just some of my all-time favorites as well. And that is the final and organized container. It looks so much nicer and cleaner. I'm really happy. I'm going to quickly do my brow container here. I have this Nude Sticks container. It holds the soap I use for my soap brows. I just think I'll get rid of the stuff that's a little bit old and dry. Okay, so these are the products I'm going to be getting rid of. Mostly, okay, this is the Glossier in brown. It's the first one I ever ordered. It's very dark. Oh wait, no, this is the new one. Oh wait, never mind. I'm keeping that. And this is the NYX Precision Brow Pencil. It's just too light of a shade for me. This is going in the recycle. It's the MAC Shape and Shade Brow Pencil. It's very dry. This is the first one I used. I got it around a year ago, so it's time for it to go. This is a really old Anastasia Clear Brow Gel. I'm going to be getting rid of it as well. This is a clear Glossier Boy Brow. It's very, very dry. There's nothing in it at all. This is the Benefit 3D Brow Tones. It's like a highlighter for your brows. It has kind of a shimmer thing. I tried it a few times, never was really into the look, so I'm going to be giving that away. And I'm also going to be giving away this Gimme Brow. It's still kind of kicking around, but it's just a little bit dry and not my shade anymore. This is the Tarte Big Blush Book. I actually won this in a giveaway before I was even into makeup. I am going to be giving this away because most of these shades, they don't sell anymore. So it's kind of annoying for me to use a blush that you guys can't pick up. So I'm going to first start with blushes because I think that's the biggest job. First, gonna start off easy. All my Nude Sticks blushes are an obvious keep. They're some of my all-time favorite blushes. They're definitely my #1 product from the brand. I'm gonna keep them all. I have all the Blooms as well as Sunset Strip. They're my absolute favorite. Here, I'm gonna start swatching some of these blushes because I know a lot of people have been asking to see a comparison between the Blooms and this Sunset Strip shade. So that's Sunset Strip right there. This is the Blooms now, and this is Cherry Blossom Babe. This is Sweet Peach Peony. This one is Poppy Girl. And the last one, oh, one of my favorites ever, Tiger Lily Queen. Oh my goodness. Okay, those are all of the finish there. So beautiful. Again, keeping it simple, the Glossier Cloud Paints. I'll also swatch these for you, but short story, I'm keeping them all. This is Puff. This one is Dusk, a very nice brownish nude. This one is Dawn, a super vibrant orange. And my #1 favorite shade, Beam, which is a beautiful soft peach. You know me and my peach shades. I love a good peachy cheek or peachy lip. Oh my goodness. Those are all those ones swatched. Ooh, I love. This is a Shu Uemura Dome Blush. It's the shade Passion Fruit Macaron. Whoa, the lid went flying. I'm going to get rid of this because it was a holiday edition thing and it's kind of dried out now and you can no longer get it, so I am going to get rid of it. These are the Lancome Monochromatique all over. You can use these on the eyes, lips, cheeks. They're kind of like a creamy powder blush. I think I'm going to just keep one shade. I'm going to keep this one, the shade S'il vous plaît. I'm going to keep this shade S'il vous plaît and I'm going to get rid of this shade Soirée. It's a little bit too deep for me. I have these Anastasia blush trios. I don't really like these anymore. I think it's kind of annoying how thin the pans are, so you can't really fit your brush in here, and the shades are kind of strange. I have lots of other powder blushes that I enjoy a lot better, so I'm going to pass these on. I have two Flesh pressed blushes here. I have the shade Glaze as well as the shade Pulse. Whoa. I'm going to keep the shade Glaze. This is one of my all-time favorite blushes. It's so beautiful, but I'm going to get rid of this one because it kind of looks weird on my skin tone. It's not my favorite. So I'm going to get rid of the shade Pulse and keep the shade Glaze. I forget what brand this is. I don't know, it's escaping my mind, but it's one of those high-end brands. This is called A Blush. It's a cream, it's like a liquid staining kind of one, but I'm going to get rid of it because it lifts up my foundation every single time, no matter what I do, so I'm going to get rid of it because it's not the best. This is a Wander Beauty On The Glow blush and highlighter, so it's like a dual-sided thing. You get a highlighter as well as a nice blush. I really loved this, so I'm going to keep it. I love dual-sided products like that. I think it's so nice for travel or whatever, and the shades are really beautiful, and I really love this cream blush. It's so kind of like a sunburnt kind of vibe. I really like it, so I'm going to keep that one as well. This is the Milk Makeup Perk Lip and Cheek. I'm going to be keeping this. It's very sheer and very glossy. I do prefer the Glossier and the Nude Sticks ones more than this, but I still really like this one, so I'm going to keep this around. Next, I have a few Ofra blushes. I have the shade Rose. I have this one, Pink Satin, and my favorite one, Bellini, which is like their cream powder formula. I'm going to be keeping Bellini for sure because it's a peach. Of course, I'm going to keep it. I'm going to keep this Pink Satin one, and I'm going to get rid of Rose because when I put this on, it literally turned gray on my cheeks, so it's not the right shade for me. I have this blush kit from Anastasia. I'm going to get rid of it. I just really dislike their powder blush formula. It's way too pigmented, way too chalky. I don't know, I just don't like them, so I'm going to be getting rid of this as well. I have some MAC blushes here. I have the shade Peaches. I'm going to obviously be keeping that because it has the word peach, so I'm going to keep it. This one is Modern Mandarin. It's a really cool peachy orange clementine shade. I'm going to keep it for sure. And this is Love Cloud. This is actually the blush I wore on my graduation day, but I no longer really wear these kind of blushes, so I'm going to get rid of this one. This is another Graphitobian palette, but this is a blush one. I'm going to be getting rid of this as well because it's really old and there's some of the oils coming up from it and it doesn't, I don't know, I'm just going to get rid of it. This is the Urban Decay Lip and Cheek Stain. I'm going to keep this. I love this for a really pinched look. It looks like blood, oh my gosh, but this is amazing. It doesn't pick up the foundation or anything, and it just is just amazing. I just really like it. I'm going to wipe it off as fast as I can because I don't want to stain my hand. This is the Cover FX Monochromatic Blush Duo. I'm going to be keeping this, obviously. This is one of my favorite blushes of all time. Keep. This is a Tarte blush in the shade Party. It's what you got on your as a birthday gift from Sephora a few years ago. I'm going to get rid of this now because I have blushes that are very similar to this, and I don't really go for this one anymore. And finally, I have two more. First, the Lila B shade and Be Lovely. Oh my gosh, this has been such a favorite of mine recently. If some of my Lila B products are on my desk here, if my brother or my boyfriend come in my room, they're like, oh, I love this. It's like a skipping stone. They're like, it's a perfect shape for a skipping stone. And it's so heavy. Oh my gosh. But anyways, gonna be keeping this. It's so beautiful. And lastly, I have this Lancome in Rose Lala 208. Oh my gosh, that is bright. That gives me very grandma vibes. I don't know. I'm going to be getting rid of it. I don't like that. I condensed my blushes so much. I'm so proud of myself. Perfect. Yay. Now I opened up a whole quadrant right here. Amazing. So now I'm going to do my highlighters right here. First, starting off with the Natasha Denona Tan Palette. I am so in love with this. This is one of my #1 favorite products I've ever tried from her. I'm definitely going to be keeping this, no doubt about that. Next is the Glossier Halo Scope. Such a nice sheer one. I use this if I don't use foundation, or if I have foundation. It's just such a beautiful, non-grippy, like it goes on like a balm, but it doesn't stay balmy, so your hair doesn't get stuck to it or anything, and it's just a really nice natural reflection, super glossy without feeling nasty. This is the Milk Makeup shade in Mars. I'm going to keep this around because I do actually like this formula for highlighters, and I like having like a fun pinky shift if I'm in the mood for that, and it's very glossy looking. I really like this one. I'm going to keep it. This is the Nude Sticks Illuminati. I am actually going to be getting rid of this one because it's just way too oily looking on me, especially because I have an oilier skin type. I'm going to finally get rid of this. This is the Catrice 3D Glow Highlighter. I pick this up all the time. I swatch it. I think about using it that day, and it's just way too blinding. It just doesn't look good on my skin tone because it's way too peachy. You can see the reflection like that on my cheeks, and it just doesn't look flattering on me. So I'm going to be getting rid of this. This is the Makeup Forever Ultra HD Soft Light. This is almost empty. I use this all the time. Oh, it's just so beautiful, but still looks like a little bit of a highlighter. It's gorgeous, and it never picks up any textures. It just melts into the skin so beautifully. Same with the Anastasia Liquid Glow. It's very similar to this, but this one is a lot more blinding, I guess. It's gorgeous. You know how much I love this. I used it in my last video. This is the Flesh, what are these even called? I don't know, but it's in the shade Pinky. I'm going to be getting rid of this. It's too silvery for my liking. This is the Glossier Play Night Shine Highlighter. I really, really love this formula. It's super blinding and gorgeous. It's just so beautiful. It's such a nice pinky one, and it just looks like skin, and it's just, I love it. This is the Marc Jacobs Spotlight Glow Stick, one of my all-time favorites as well. Super, super blinding. It never picks up foundation, and it just always looks so glossy and beautiful. I love it so much. Next, I have the Marc Jacobs Do You Dewdrops. I don't believe this is available anymore. I think this was a limited edition thing a few years ago, but I absolutely love this product. It is so champagne and gold and beautiful. Has such a nice, truly dewy look, but it does dry down completely, so it doesn't leave any sticky residue or anything. It's just so good. I absolutely love it. I'm going to keep it. Next, I have another one of the Lancome monochromatic things. This is the shade Eclat, and I am going to be getting rid of this because this shade is a little bit too deep for me or something. I just never really liked the way it looked on me, so I am going to be getting rid of it. This is the Melt Pink Moon highlighter, digital dust highlighter. This one's came out on Valentine's Day. It's really, really beautiful. Really like their highlighters. I just got sent 2 new ones, so I'm excited to try those ones out. This is the Becca Opal. This is the first highlighter I ever purchased, and I still have it, and I'm still going to have it because I'm not getting rid of it. It is just so beautiful and just wow. And finally, I have this Anastasia and Amrezy collab. I really love this. This is very well loved. Almost the waves are flat in the center here. This is just such a gorgeous gold highlight, and it's so blinding. Oh my gosh. I'm really sad that this is no longer available. I feel like they should just bring it back permanently because it's that good. And finally, let's tackle the bronzers. First, starting off with another one of the Lancome monochromatic things. This shade I thought could go as a bronzer for me, but it is just a little bit, I don't know, looks a little too strange on the skin. It looks good swatched here, but on the skin it looks strange. I'm going to be getting rid of it. These are the Maybelline City Bronzers. I've been loving these so much lately. I've featured them in a few videos. I'm definitely going to be keeping them. These are the Huda Beauty Tantour. I have the shade Fair and Light. I'm going to be keeping these. I really have been very impressed with these lately. I've been using them so much, so I'm going to be keeping both of them. This is the Anastasia bronzer. This is way too pigmented for me. I actually use this as eyeshadow sometimes, so I might keep it but put it in my eyeshadow drawer, just because it's just way too much for the cheeks. So I'm going to put this in a maybe pile. This is the Tarte Park Avenue Princess. I don't know why they added this chain. It's super annoying, but I'm going to be getting rid of this. I haven't used this yet. I used to really enjoy this bronzer, but now it's just way too red for me, and I prefer a lot other ones, so I'm going to be handing this off to someone else. This is the Fenty Beauty bronzer. I have been absolutely loving this lately. It's the shade In the Sun. It's the perfect in-between contour and bronzer for me, so I'm going to be keeping this. I love it so much. The packaging is kind of beautiful. It's so beautiful, but it gets so fingerprinty and it looks gross so fast. I have 2 sizes of Hoola. Whenever I order from Sephora and they have the little mini version, I always pick it up because it's just perfect for traveling. So I have this one for travel. Giant Hoola. Yeah, Giant Hoola. I really enjoy this bronzer. It's just yellow toned enough. It always just is really flattering, I find. Super easy to work with. Never looks patchy either. I really like it. I'm gonna keep it. Next is the Nudestix Bondi Bay. I actually have been really enjoying this lately. I think just because I am a little bit more tanned than usual, so I'm going to be keeping this. And last but not least, but my #1 favorite bronzer of all time is the Milk Makeup Baked Bronzer. I'm obviously going to be keeping this. I love it so much. Final stretch, last container. So this is the NYX A Bit Jelly Illuminator. This is really interesting. It has a super intense, like, purpley pink highlight. It would be really cool to wear on your shoulders at like a festival or something. So I am going to keep it, and I'm also going to be keeping my Flash palette. Just, it's really good to have around Halloween time. I'm going to start off with my highlights. So I have a few of the Anastasia highlighting palettes, but they're not the shades that actually come in the palettes. I used to have every single glow kit, but I actually narrowed it down and took my favorite shades and put all my favorite shades into just 2 palettes. I'm going to keep both of these palettes. I'm also going to be keeping this one, what is this called again? The Moonchild Glow Kit, just because I feel like I need to have some funky highlights in my collection. And my favorite one is Pink Heart. I just really like Pink Shift highlighters. I think they're just so interesting, and that one's a really fun icy one. Next, I have 2 of the BH Travel Series face palettes. I have the Blushing in Bali and Glowing in Grease palette. I am going to be getting rid of the Bali one because I don't really use the highlighting shades, and these blushes aren't really tones I reach for all the time. The only one I really used was this one, Coral. But the highlighting, but I am going to be keeping the Grease palette. I have been so in love with it lately. I used it in my last video, and you guys were upset with me that I didn't swatch the highlighters, but here we go. Here they are. Super reflective, super pigmented. They're crazy. But I've been loving this, especially for the blushes. They're all the perfect peach tones, and I just am so happy with it. I love it so much. This is the ColourPop Innuendo palette. It has all the highlights you would ever need in a kit if you're a working makeup artist, and I really love the formula. But on the skin, with a nice brush, it applies really sheer, and it's really nice. So I do really love this, and I'm gonna continue using it. I'll keep it. And here is another one of my favorite highlighting palettes. It's the Ofra Glow Up. Oh my gosh, you just get anything and everything ever in here. I love how you can use, in this wheel here, you can use them as like all mixed together or single. My favorite tone though is Rodeo Drive. I think that's their most popular one, and it's for some reason because it's so beautiful. Focused. Like these are some really intense highlighters, but you can really make them look like a glossy sheen if you want, and that's what I usually do. So I'm going to have this for life, honestly. A little bit of it goes the longest way. Next, I have these two singles from ColourPop. I have a bronzer and a blush. I use these in my full face of ColourPop. I'm going to get rid of this color because I really dislike the formula of this blush and the shade as well. But I did really love this bronzer, so I'm going to put that with my bronzers now. This is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting palette. I really love this palette. I'm going to keep this, obviously. And then I have two of the contour kits from Anastasia that I will be keeping both because they're just classics. I have the cream version, I have the fair kit, and the light to medium in the powders. Just really great contour kits, good to travel with. I just really like it, so I'm going to keep both. And lastly, for these setting powders, I'm going to be getting rid of the ColourPop one. It just looked so bad on me. It just made me look like I had a really peach fuzzy face. I don't know, I really disliked it. Getting rid of it. I'm getting rid of these two little Makeup Forever samples I think I got in a Sephora order. I'm going to keep the Glossier Wowder. It's a really good one. I'm going to keep the Derma Blend as well. I haven't used it yet. I have to try it out because I always use my Milk Blurn set, which I will be keeping as well. And this is the Lancome one. It's the translucent powder. I'm also going to be keeping that. But that's that for this container, and I think that's all my products. I'll show you everything I'm getting rid of now. And here is the final pile of everything I'm getting rid of. I am very proud of myself. It's quite a good haul. I'm so happy now that I have more space in my drawers, more space to grow. I feel less cluttered and more inspired. So I feel really good about this. I'm really happy. So that wraps up this declutter video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you would like to see next. I do have all those new products like you saw earlier in today's video. I do want to do a new products video maybe, but I feel like I just did one, so let me know if that's too repetitive. Or if you have any other video recommendations. I always love to hear them. So I'm constantly adding your suggestions in my to film list. I love it. But that is all for me today, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Before I go, I would love for you to subscribe if you aren't already. It would mean so much to me, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye!